Alright, what's going on everybody? Fear No Hate here, back for another anime review. Before I get into the review itself, I want to quickly go over some of the changes to the review format. I want to make these reviews a lot quicker and shorter whenever possible. My last review was almost 30 minutes, and I realized not everybody has the time to watch a long video. Plus, I hate having to put so much effort into editing a long video that doesn't perform well. I'm also going to try to take a more relaxed and more casual approach to reviews going forward. I will now do my reviews with a very simplistic format. I'll give a brief overview of the series first, I'll talk about the pros and the cons of the series, and then afterward I'll conclude and give the show a letter grade of A through F. Hope you guys like the changes and feel free to give your suggestions in the comment section below. With that out of the way, let's get into the review. The Promised Neverland is a dark fantasy sci-fi thriller written by Toshiya Ono and brought to life by Studio Cloverworks. The series centers on the lives of children at an orphanage. The oldest among the children, Emma, Norman, and Ray, discover the terrifying secret behind the orphanage and must outwit their mother and caretaker Isabella and find a way to escape their cruel fate. This is just a brief summary, and that's basically all I'm going to tell you regarding the show's plot. The less you know going in, the better you'll probably enjoy it, especially for this kind of series. I'll be avoiding spoilers for this review, and I might be very vague, so apologies. Watching this show made me realize just how far ahead the Japanese are when it comes to storytelling for an animated series. The premise is very unique, and I can't really think of any other shows quite like it. You could compare it to something like the early 2000s movie Chicken Run. The world of The Promised Neverland is so fleshed out despite seeing so little of it throughout the season. The show progresses at a reasonable pace as information about the orphanage and the outside world is slowly revealed. If you're looking for an anime with deep, engaging, and charming characters, then The Promised Neverland has you covered. Characterization is perfect for the main cast of characters. Emma is reckless, naive, and kind-hearted, but she's also very stubborn. Norman is usually calm and collected, and the smartest out of the three. Ray is almost a complete opposite to Norman, in that he's got a short temper. Ray is very resourceful, rational, and a bit blunter than Norman is. Gilda is outspoken and caring. Dawn is impatient and impulsive. Out of those five, my favorites were definitely Ray and Emma. I loved how innocent Emma is and how ticked off Ray could get when something didn't go his way. These characters are consistent throughout the season and they never really did anything that seemed out of character to me. Character personalities are brought out through outstanding voice acting. The English dub cast does a fantastic job with the voices for the children. It was very important that they nailed the voice acting for the children because the majority of the show is spent focusing on them. English dubbed children voices can sometimes be terrible, and it's likely due to some of the voice actors approaching it in the same way that they would a Western animated TV series. Thankfully, that isn't the case here. The mother and caretaker of the orphanage, Isabella, is such a great antagonist. The character can have such a menacing presence despite being so outwardly unimposing and calm. She's very observant and confident that she can keep the children under control. She rarely uses force throughout the season to keep the children in line. Watching as Emma, Ray, and Norman try to outsmart her is a treat in itself, but when Isabella gets the upper hand, the tension really rises. Despite taking satisfaction in screwing with the children's plans, she does actually love them in her own twisted way. I absolutely love the clean art style in the show, and the animation is superb. The animators and artists deserve recognition for their work on the series. Love the expression on the kids' face when they're terrified. Characters can look cute and innocent or depressed and intimidating, and it just looks fantastic. What I'm going to say might sound trivial, but I think this little element of the show deserves to be praised. I love the fact that many of the scenes in the show, they aren't stiff and they aren't static. The camera or sense of perspective changes, and I'm glad that they put in this little extra bit of effort to add something so small in. There are close-up scenes, switches to third or even first-person perspective, quite a handful of times. I don't know who I need to give credit to, the director Mamoru Kanabe or the people that did the storyboarding, but well done nonetheless. There was attention to detail and care put into framing certain scenes. For instance, there are scenes where we see characters from a wired glass window that kind of illustrates the idea that they feel kind of caged in like animals. The music in the show was composed by Takahiro Obata and is instantly recognizable. The soundtrack is varied with upbeat, hopeful, and somber tracks throughout. Nearly every track feels unique and works very well for every scene throughout the season. The melody for Isabella's Lullaby is a standout, and it seems to be the basis used for a few of the tracks. The sound effects in this show are also very good. I love the ones used when the children are terrified or being caught off guard. I guess this kind of goes without saying, but the music and sound effects play an important role in creating atmosphere and tension, so I had to make sure it was mentioned. Another probably well-known fact, or at least in this anime community, is that the opening sequence and theme song is just fire. The theme song Touch Off by Overworld is amazing, and I really appreciated it more after getting to the last few episodes of the season. Koshuni performs the 2 ending themes, which I also enjoyed. I don't really have much negative to say about this show in general. The only issue I kinda have is with Krona. I absolutely hate the character design for Sister Krona, who was introduced early in the season as another antagonist. Is it just me, or does she look like a racist cartoon depiction of a black woman with those big lips and wide mouth? Also, I didn't think the voice acting actually fit the character. Also, there is a twist that occurs in episode 7 with the character that I wish we had more time to explore. Alright, time to wrap this review up. So I don't throw this word around often, and it could be a bit too early to say this, but I feel like this show is a masterpiece. This was a perfect first season that nails everything. I highly recommend this show for anyone who's looking for something a bit different. And if you've already seen it, I encourage you to actually watch it again. It's one of those shows that gets better on repeat viewings. I picked up a lot the second time I watched it. Anyway, I'm giving The Promised Neverland an A. It is one of my favorite anime of this decade, definitely, and I'm looking forward to season 2 next year. Let me know what you guys think about The Promised Neverland in the comment section below, and let me know what you guys think about this new format. Should I go back to the older format? What suggestions do you guys have? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe. I'm out of here. Peace.